Welcome to the lecture series of signal systems. In this lecture, we will include invertible and non-invertible systems, and also with the discussion of invertible and non-invertible system, we will come to know how we can test the stability of a system. So, we will go through the stable and unstable system also. So, move to the topic invertible and non-invertible systems. Suppose there is a system. Suppose there is a system xt. There is a system S. There is a system S. Input given to the system is xt, and output of the system is yt. The input of the system is xt, which produces an output yt. If there is exist another system, if there exists another system S dash, such that if output of the first system is given to the S dash, it produces the input of the first system, means it produces xt itself. Then xt is given to the system S, and output of the system S is given to S dash, and output of the S dash is the input of the first system, which is xt itself. It means that these two systems S and S dash are working as an identity system. Here S dash is called inverse system, inverse of S, and S is called invertible system. S is called invertible system. So by definition, if system S produces output yt when xt is given as input, and there exists a system S dash when it is cascaded with the original system, then it produces the same input as given to the system S. Then the system is called invertible system. Suppose there is a system. Suppose there is a system S which multiply the input by 5 times. It will multiply the input by 5 times. Then if input is xt, then output of this system is 5 times xt. Now if there exists another system S dash such that the system S dash divides the input by 5, then output of this system will be xt. 5 into xt divided by 5 is equal to xt. Then these two systems, then the system S is called invertible system, and this system is called inverse of S. Look at the definition. A system is said to be invertible if there exists an inverse system which, when cascaded with original system, produces an output equal to the input of the system. Mathematically, a system is said to be invertible if we can write it as yt is equal to transformation of xt. This t is property of the system. This is function of the system. then we can write xt is transformed to yt. From here we can write it as xt is equal to t inverse yt. If this relation is followed, then we can say the given system is an invertible system. In the case of discrete time signals, we can write it as xn is equal to t inverse y of n. The two systems are S and S test as discussed earlier. They work as identity system. There are some systems the testing of invertibility can become tricky. Suppose there is a system which produces output equal to 0. There is a system which produces output equal to 0 when input xt is given to it. Then in this case it is not possible to produce the input xt by using a system in which 0 is given. Means it is not possible to use a system S dash which can produce the signal xt by taking an input 0, because if system is producing 0, suppose there is a system like this. Here is a voltage source of 10 volt. Here is some value of resistance. Here is another resistance, and output is short circuited. It is 10 volt. Then what will be the value of output here? Because it is short circuited, output will always be equal to 0. Then can we produce this signal 10 volt by using output equal to 0? If I can produce, then this input of 10 volt, it may become 50 volt. Then when input is 50 volt, output remains the same, 0 volt. For all input, either it is 10 volt or 15 volt or 20 volt or 30 volt, the output will remain same. So I cannot predict by taking this output 0 that what was the input, either it is 12 volt or 10 volt or 50 volt or it was 15 or 20 volt. We cannot say exactly that input had that value. That's why we cannot produce the same input by taking this output. It means that if a system is giving output as 0, we cannot produce the input of this system. That means such type of systems are non-invertible systems. And some other cases are, suppose we are producing, suppose yt is equal to x square t. Yt is equal to x square t. It means that the system will make a square of an input. Suppose output of this system is 4. Then by taking 4 into consideration, we cannot clearly say that either the input was +2 or it is -2, because to produce the input, again we have to take square root of this value, and if we will take square root of 2 value, it will give two values, plus and minus 2. But we cannot clarify that whether the input was plus 2 volt or it is minus 2 volt. So in such type of cases we cannot produce the same signal again. So these are the cases where the system becomes non-invertible. Now move to stability of the system. There is a criteria that when I am giving a bounded input to the signal, it should produce a bounded output. If we are giving unbounded input, we are giving a bounded signal at the input of the system and it is producing a bounded output signal, then we can say that the system is BIBO stable. BIBO means bounded input, bounded output. And what does the means of bounded? If the signal has a finite amplitude throughout its interval, then the signal is called bounded signal. Means at every instant of time the signal has some finite value. If it is not leads to the infinity, then signal is called a bounded signal. If the signal has a finite amplitude at every instant of time, then signal is called a bounded signal. So if we are giving such type of signal at the input side of a system and the system is producing a bounded output, then the system is called a stable system, otherwise it is unstable. So the system is said to be BIBO stable if and only if it gives a bounded output for every bounded input. And what is the bounded signal? As I stated earlier, a signal is said to be bounded if its amplitude is always finite. Suppose there is a signal xt which is bounded given to the system S. There is a signal xt which is a bounded signal given to the system S, and it produces an output yt which is also a bounded signal. Then xt is bounded if modulus means amplitude of xt is less than infinite, means it remains finite always, and yt amplitude of yt remains finite for always, then the system is stable. Now consider some examples to identify whether the given signal is bounded or it is unbounded signal. Here are some examples to identify whether the given signal is bounded or not. So to check whether the given signal is bounded or not, we have to check the amplitude of the signal in total duration in which the signal exists. So the first one is, which is A part, given this signal exists from 0 to plus infinite, and the amplitude of the signal at 0 has some finite value, suppose it is A, and when the signal moves towards the infinity, it becomes 0. So even at the infinity, this signal has a finite value 0. It means that the given signal is a bounded signal because at every instant of time its amplitude is known to us. So it is an example of a bounded signal. In the case B, the signal, actually it is graph of xt is equal to tut, which is a ramp, and ramp when t becomes infinite, it will make xt is equal to infinite. means at t equal to infinite the signal has an infinite value. That's why this is an unbounded signal. In the third case, in this example, duration of the signal is defined from here to here, and amplitude of the signal is also defined, and this signal is a bounded signal because this signal has a finite range and finite amplitude. That's why this signal is a bounded signal. Here, in the case of sinusoidal signal, we have to check only for the amplitude of the signal. So even this signal is, duration of this signal is from 0 to infinite, but amplitude of this signal is known at every instant of time. Even at infinite, we can say that this signal has some finite value in between from -1 to +1. So even at t equal to infinite, this signal has a finite value. This signal has a finite amplitude in between from -1 to +1. That means this is an example of a bounded signal. The sinusoidal signal is an example of a bounded signal because the amplitude of this signal is known at every instant of time. Even we know the amplitude of this signal will exist from in between somewhere from -1 to +1, even at t equal to infinite. So this signal is a bounded signal. The next one is in this example, a signal is given whose amplitude is going to increase as t increases. So its amplitude is increasing at every instant of time. Then what will happen at t equal to infinite? What will happen at t equal to infinite? This signal will give an infinite value. So because its amplitude is increasing continuously, this is same as its amplitude. You can see it is same as a ramp signal. Amplitude is same as a ramp signal. As time increases, the value of the signal, or we can say amplitude of the signal increases. As t reaches to infinite, the amplitude will reach to the infinite, and this signal becomes an unbounded signal. Next one is UT, means unit step signal. This signal exists from 0 to infinite, from time duration 0 to infinite, but amplitude of this signal remains 1 at every instant of time. Even at t equal to infinite, the amplitude of this signal will be 1. It means that the given signal ut is also an example of a bounded signal. So this is all for this lecture. In the next lecture, we will discuss some examples related to stable and unstable systems. Thank you.